Watch me.
Don't move.
You're in for it now.
Yeah. Take your best. Let's go.
Yo.
In it for the long haul. Killing me.
Yes, I'm doing fine. Thank you for your concern, Songhui.
Yo, what'd she say?
Oh, nothing. She just asked for an update on the situation. That's all.
Yeah? Bet it feels pretty good knowing a babe like her's looking out for you.
I'm blessed to serve one such as she. The Jungihan I served before was quite the blessing as well. If I'm to talk about Jungihan, I'll need to provide some backstory.
Cool with me. I got plenty of time.
Ha! Then I hope you're prepared to sit for a while.
Sure, I'm all ears.
My father was one of the stray Qingwan Mafia I mentioned earlier. And to speak further, he was a lowly thug left behind in a foreign land. In my youth, I was relentlessly beaten by my father, in addition to being neglected by those around me. Home, school, no place provided me with even the slightest bit of sanctuary. Thinking back on it, I'm sure I was a rather dissolute child.
Well, you're not alone in feeling like you got no place to go. Plenty of people feel that way, even civilians.
Feelings of isolation are really that common, huh? Not sure if I should be comforted or not.
Sorry, didn't derail the story, did I?
The real Jungihan had also been raised in a poor and neglected environment like me. But rumors of his strength, intelligence, and ambition started to swirl. And as the men from my father's generation grew older, Jungihan started gaining more and more power. In fact, it was thanks to him that the stray Jingon found any success in Kamurocho at all. While the Tojo clan was being choked by anti-violence laws, the Jingon Mafia were steadily gaining a sense of existence.
Sounds like he must have been pretty cool.
Yes, but my father, who underestimated him as some young greenhorn, failed to prove his worth and was left trying to catch up. A staunch alcoholic, He used what drunken wit he had to try to get close to the young leader. So, eventually he worked out a plan. He would mold his own son's face, set him up as a body double, and offer him as tribute.
What?
I was drugged by my father, and this was done to me while I slept.
No way. He did all that just to impress the boss?
When he was presented with a body double, even the real Jungi Han could only force a smile. But he saw what had gone into my face, and he respected the effort. So he said it was a fair offer, and took me under his wing.
And what's your father doing now?
He's long since passed away. His health was already in steady decline, and for what it's worth, I'm sure he wasn't opposed to dying at the bottom of a bottle.
That's a shame. Guess you two weren't super close then.
Jungi Han kept me at his side as much as possible so that I might learn his mannerisms. Strangely enough, it was the only place that finally felt like home. I was very much his servant, and he was very much my master. But in spite of that, we shared a lot of laughs in the long time we spent together. A lot of drinks as well. And though I was his double, it would be rude of me to say that we came to resemble twins.
So the way you're talking right now, that's something Jungi Han taught you?
The real Jungi Han had a way with words I never will. And when he walked into a room, you knew it. Try as I might, I would never reach his level.
Hearing you say all that makes me even more curious.
About what, may I ask?
You know what?
That's kind of you to say.
But you said the real...
He was indeed quite...
Oh, yeah? Yeah, that's... But you...
And that is?
Isn't it about time you told me your real name?
Ah,
Still a no, huh?
ha. Just a little taken aback is all. I have no problem telling you. When I was first brought into this world, I was given the name Yeonsu Kim.
Yeonsu Kim.
I have no intention of returning to that name. Not when the real Jungi Han has already passed away.
The real one took a bullet to the head, yeah?
Correct. There was conflict with a group from Hiroshima that had made its way into Tokyo. As far as I'm concerned, the Jingon Mafia died along with him. At the time, I was given the role of staring down the other hostile groups within Kamurocho as Jungi Han. But with their real boss dead, the remaining Jingon Mafia in Kamurocho were nothing but paper tigers. Should our enemies have discovered this, we would have been ousted and probably killed.
If it were me, I probably would have gotten the hell out of Kamurocho. Left everything behind.
Yes, that's precisely what I did. The few remaining members at my side did the same. But seeing as the Jingon Mafia was all I'd ever had, I had no place to go. No refuge where I might reconvene with my allies. I was lost and alone in the world, like a man dying of thirst in the desert, surrounded by a hungry pack of wolves.
Sounds like you had it rough.
I found a faint glimmer of hope in the Korean community here in Japan, but even they refused to accept me, as I was nothing but a criminal to them. Thinking on it now, I should have expected as much from those living an honest life. But still, in my confusion and dismay, I challenged them, asking why they would abandon one of their own.
I get that.
It was enough to make them call the police. And I'm sure that under normal circumstances, I would have been taken away. However...
Huh? Come on, man. Don't just leave me hanging.
The police officers were imposters, and instead of being incarcerated, I was brought to my new home, Yokohama Ijincho.
So those fake officers, were they?
Members of the Komijul, sent to retain me under the orders of Samui. It turned out that the Komijul was a place that many former Jingon members had drifted to. Those that distanced themselves from Kamurocho slowly but surely found their way there.
Oh yeah. Songhui did mention something about the Komijul having roots in the Jingon Mafia.
Indeed. Komijul is essentially a safe haven for refugees. That's why they tend to keep quiet and remain exceedingly closed off. For many years, they spied on the Jingon Mafia in Kamurocho from a distance, keeping close watch on their movements. I was fortunately saved by the hand that the Komijul had extended to me. Moreover, Songhui told me what had happened to the real Jungi Han. That he had been shot in the head by an assassin hired by the Hiroshima Yakuza, taken by surprise from the shadows.
An assassin? So what'd you guys do? You kill him?
No. By the time I'd learned of his existence, he was already dead. I wasn't even given the chance for revenge. I spent many of the following days in despair. But even though I was in such a hollow state, Songhui patiently waited for my recovery. She was more like family to me than my abusive father could have ever hoped to be. A sister to replace the brother I had found in Jungi Han. Frankly, nothing would hurt me more than to betray her expectations and disappoint her. And Kasuga-san, as for you and me... I'm wondering what sort of boss you will be. I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do.
I don't remember ever becoming your boss. Right now, I think drinking buddy is a better term, don't you?
I see. Then I will do my best to live up to that title.
Well, guess that's finally it for introductions. He sure is shy, that young Soo Kim. You drinking, Namba?
Oh, Ichiban. Glad you're here. We need to talk.
We do? Is it something serious?
Look, I need to tell you I'm sorry. For lying.
You mean about chasing the counterfeit bill?
Yeah. Think you can forgive me?
Come on, you know we're past that. What's important is your brother got released. All's well that ends well, right? That said, maybe now's a good time to tell me if there's any other holes in your story. You really were a nurse at some point, right?
Well, of course I was a nurse. How else could I have brought you back from the brink of death?
Good point. Then, what about the part where you sold hospital meds? Didn't you say that's how you got your nursing license revoked?
Well, that's the short version, but it's more complicated, actually.
What do you mean?
You'll be the first person I've ever told this to, so I hope you plan on sitting for a while.
Yeah, man. I'm all ears.
Back in elementary school, I read about Florence Nightingale. That's when I knew I was meant to be a nurse. Helping the sick, people being grateful for it, it's all I ever wanted in life. But when I finally put on my scrubs, it was different. Endless late shifts, difficult patients, never a word of thanks. Eventually, I just stopped caring. Little by little, I started cutting corners any way I could. I'd pretend not to hear the intercom, and instead, I'd go doze off somewhere. By the time I hit 40, I had no idea why I ever went into the field. But then one day, this new girl named Mizue showed up. And in her introduction, she brought up who else but Nightingale.
Just like you, huh?
We had the same role model, but she still had her spirit. She would rush toward every patient in the ward, never missed a beat. On top of that, she always had the sweetest smile.
So, you had a thing for her.
Are you kidding me? She was 23 and a looker, and I was just a middle-aged loser.
Ever seen those old dudes walking around with hot young arm candy? You gotta be like those guys.
Well, those guys also have cash to spare.
Not always. If you could clean up a little and stay on top of the trends, I bet you'd be covered in ladies, instead of pigeon shit.
Wow. Can't believe you'd say that to my face. But you're probably right.
Anyway, back to Mizue-chan. What happened?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Whenever I saw her working, I could feel my old self coming back. That young version of me, who used to give it his all.
Well, that's a good sign.
If only I had half her stamina and wasn't twice her age. Anyway, one night I was a little sleepier than usual, so I went out to the back lawn, thinking maybe I could sneak in a nap. And suddenly, I heard a noise from behind. I turned around to find the storeroom we keep the medicine in wide open. And Mizue-chan was walking out alone.
Was she restocking? I mean, if you were slacking off, she was probably having to bust her ass.
Well, that's the thing. In our hospital, only the pharmacists have access to the storeroom. Mizue-chan and I were just nurses. We didn't even need to go in there.
Then what was she?
Well, medicine, no, it was.
But why?
From what I saw,
So she was stealing the meds to do it?
yeah. Thing is,
Well, calling her out on it would seem to be the right thing to do. But I guess she wasn't stealing it just to be a criminal, huh?
not in the slightest. She was only doing it for her family. I mean, yeah, she was breaking the law, but she wasn't trying to hurt anyone.
Plus, getting caught would cost her her job. Then the debt would only have gotten worse. With all that in mind, I'd say it's a pretty tough call to make.
Now you're on the same page I was. Anyway, in the end, all I could do was watch her walk away without saying a word. If there ever was a criminal who deserved a free pass, it was Mizue-chan. That was what I thought at the time. So I turned a blind eye.
And what happened after that?
It wasn't long before Mizue-chan's actions caught up with her. The hospital director decided to get the police involved and started gathering evidence.
He waited that long to take action?
Well, he was trying to resolve it internally, being that the hospital's reputation was at stake. I guess he got sick of having a thief under his nose, so he escalated it to the next logical step.
But if the cops caught Mizue-chan stealing, that'd be bad news.
She'd have a police record, and her name in all the papers. To be honest, it was only a matter of time. She had her whole life ahead of her. How could that happen to someone so young? And on the other hand, you've got me. A guy who totally burned out. A guy who couldn't be further from Florence Nightingale. Better a saint like Mizue-chan stay at the hospital than a sack of shit like me, wouldn't you say?
Namba, are you telling me you...
Yeah. I went up and confessed to the whole thing. Stealing, selling, and all.
And that's how you lost your nursing license?
Yep. No, and I got fired too. Naturally.
Man, you went all out for that girl. Did she ever contact you after that? Even a call or a letter?
Not that I'm aware. In a matter of hours, I was out of a job and out on the streets.
You regret any of it?
Well, my brother disappeared not long after, so even if I didn't get canned, I would have quit on my own anyway. So, no, to answer your question. Though I do have to admit, I would like to see Mizue-chan off when she goes overseas.
She's going overseas?
Yeah. She always dreamed of running off to some developing country where they really need medical professionals.
She took that Nightingale shit seriously.
Our hospital had an international dispatch program, available to staff nurses with at least 3 years tenure. This year would be Mizue-chan's third, and I know she would take advantage of it.
Well, in that case, why not go say farewell?
If only I could. For starters, I don't even know when she leaves.
Maybe if you ask one of your old nurse buddies, they'll tell you.
Don't be ridiculous. I'm the little rat who stole the medicine, if you forgot that detail. They want nothing to do with me.
Well, hello, boys. Don't worry, the life of the party's here. Care to bring me up to speed?
Oh, Sachan. Wait, are you drunk?
I think you're drunk. Now, fill me in, if you please.
Oh, Namba here was going off on one of his hobo horror stories again.
Hobo horror stories?
Well, no house means no toilet, right? Care to guess what he had to do when he had the shits?
Yeah, I'd rather not. And here I was, thinking I'd get actual substance out of two grown men instead of literal crap.
Thanks for covering for me.
I got you, man.
I don't mind if we let Sayoko know at some point, but preferably not when she's plastered.
Yeah, no kidding. Is that windmill powering this place?
Correct. We also have solar panels to generate power from sunlight.
Oh, word? Wait, if you're generating power yourselves, why bother?
In addition to living amenities, it requires more. That said, we've always dreamed it'd be nice to stop
Wow, so,
at the.
wait, you
You
guys...
In it for the long haul. down.
Weak. You're important now.
Yeah. Cock up, then. You're done. The enemy is defeated.
So itchy.
My back.
Hey, isn't this where people have been seeing that masked killer?
Oh yeah, that sign! It's the same one from the video, right?
Wow, you're right. No way! This place is iconic!
We should look around a bit. What if he's actually here?
Yeah, let's go!
Did she say iconic?
I'd get it if this place was in a movie or TV show or something, but not for some murderer.
Tell me about it. Michan's place has gotten reservations canceled because of it.
Seriously? This rumor's becoming a real problem.
All this talk about a masked killer. Maybe that guy could fill me in. Sup?
Hmm?
Hmm?
Ah. Ah.
Yeah. Got it. Hmm? 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 Hmm?
Oh dear, that wasn't enough time.
Excuse me. You need help crossing the street?
Well, of sorts, yes.
Looks to me like the signal changes pretty quick. Why don't I just carry you over?
No, and while I do appreciate your kindness, that won't be necessary.
You sure you're gonna be okay like that?
I'll be fine. You see, I made the decision to walk with my own 2 feet until I'm dead and gone. Heck, I won't even get in a car unless I have to.
Well, at least you're sticking to your guns.
Yes, and that's why I intend to cross this street without any assistance.
Okay, then if that's the case... Oh, it's green.
All right, Umeko, you can do this. Here we go. Oh dear, how many times has it been now?
Why don't you go to a different crosswalk? Maybe without a signal.
If I did, that means that's a victory for this here crosswalk, and I can't let it win. Oh, I do wish these old legs of mine were quicker.
You know, I'd like to help, but I'm fresh out of ideas.
Don't you worry about me, son. I just think I'll head home for the day. Oh.
Whoa.
Ah!
You bastard! Yo.
me.
Hmm?
Soka.
Hmm?
Watch me.
You wanna fight? Cool. Don't get cocky. Weak. Okay. Kick your ass.
Sup?
Headed for the long haul.
Yeah.
Hey, are you all right? Is there anything we can do to... Oh, Susumu-chan, you're so needy. Okay, time for Baba.
What the?
You're the fuckers with the baby formula.
Oh.
Sorry to bother you boys. Yo, let's go.
Yes, goodbye!
Not so fast, Chief! You got balls stepping into my big comfy crib. Think you can waltz in here and spoil our fun? Come on, boys. Let's pacify this bitch.
Sir!
Show me what you got.
Watch me.
I got this.
You wanna fight?
Take this.
Get serious.
You're in.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You wanna
Bring
go?
it on. Good times.
Not bad.
Apologies for barging in here, but this is all just a huge misunderstanding.
Huh? I'm listening.
Well, actually...
I get it. You thought my crying was from a real baby.
Yes, we're really sorry for ruining your, fun.
No, I wasn't aware. I'm the one who's sorry. These days, a crying baby's more likely to get scowls than anything else. To think you'd do that for a baby you don't even know. What are your names?
Ichiban Kasuga.
Masato Oshima.
I see. Fine names, both of you. My name's Susumu Gondawara. Seems my men troubled you for some baby formula. Boys, get these two some new baby formula on the double.
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, we're actually quite all right on the baby formula. Please, no need to... I step out of the house for a quick errand, and I'm gone for an eternity. My wife...
Ah, come on. You'll just be a little late. Your old lady that scary?
No, she's just been a little strained lately. I've been working my butt off for the sake of our child, but all she does is nag at me.
Masato-chan, do you understand how hard it is to raise a kid? Have you ever bothered to help your wife, even just a little?
What?
Like, just holding a baby's a lot of work. You have to support their neck until they can keep their head up on their own. Lots to look out for, no matter how small the task. Babies are weak, delicate creatures, very fragile. You can't blame your wife for being a little stressed out.
Huh.
That's right. Saya-chan's telling the truth. When us babies get our milk, we gotta burp, so we need a little back pat. There's all sorts of shit like that.
Now that you mention it, she is always doing those things.
When they start crying in the middle of the night, I have no clue why, nor do I know how to stop it.
Hey, it's our job to cry. Doesn't matter if it's the middle of the night. We'll cry when we feel like it.
I see. And here I was, jealous of how she got to sleep while I was out working all night.
Your wife probably hasn't had a decent night's sleep since the little one came into the picture, you know?
And even if she does get a sec to rest, you never know when she's gonna have to get back up. Sounds pretty frickin' exhausting.
Oh.
Masato-chan, you should sit down and talk with your wife. I'm sure it's hard for both of you, but your relationship's probably strained right now because neither of you have taken the time to hear each other out.
You're right. I guess at some point I started to think I was the one having the tougher time. But I never thought about how my wife was feeling. I'm gonna talk to my wife when I get home. I'll make sure we raise our kid right. I'm a father, after all.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Just don't try to do everything yourself. Families gotta support one another.
Go on. Hurry back to your wife and make things right. You got this baby's approval, so I'm sure you'll do just fine.
Thank you. Well, I'll be going now.
Best of luck.
Well, all's well that ends well, I guess.
You bet.
Boss, sorry we're late. We bought the formula.
Ooh. Well then, why don't we drink to the man who became a proper father? Join us, why don't you?
Huh? Me?
That's right. No need to be shy.
Sure. What the hell?
Yeah, baby. Ah, that's God's work right there. What do you think? Good shit, ain't it?
Yeah, ain't half bad.
Right. Boys, 2 more baby bottles. Room temp.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's say we enjoy this second bottle good and proper.
Huh?
Boys, get this man a diaper.
Yes, sir.
Yo, hold up. I didn't say shit about wearing a... Hey! What the hell, man? Let me go! Yo, if you don't cut it out, I'll... Oh.